Hi, this is Alex Helmbrecht, the Sports Information Director at Chadron State College, and I'm sitting here this morning with Chadron State head football coach Jay Long. It's hard to believe, but football season is just right around the corner. The Eagles kick off this Thursday at 7:05 p.m. at Montana State University. They're playing the Bobcats up there in Bozeman. It'll actually be, I believe, the fourth trip for the Eagles, Montana State. Currently, the Eagles are 1-2. Against Montana State. Of course, that one win came in 2006. Really, when Chadron State put itself on the map, that win, of course, happened a week after Montana State had defeated the University of Colorado, and the program has really taken off since then. Coach, we'll talk a little bit about Montana State here in a while, but I want to get your thoughts on the preseason. The Eagles opened camp a couple weeks ago, and I just kind of want to know how things went, what all happened.
You know, I thought we had a good fall camp. When you look at it, I think we're on practice 19 right now. Today is practice number 19. And, you know, the guys are ready to hit someone else. We're at that point where you put 15 spring practices in and then 19 fall camp practices in. The guys are sick of hitting each other. They're ready to go, you know, attack the next coming opponent, which is Montana State. But when you look at it, you know, as a head coaching and coaching from coaching perspective, you know, I was excited how camp went. For the most part, we have stayed fairly healthy during camp, and that was something that we wanted to really push and make an emphasis on. We have we have some great leaders, we have some great seniors, but at some positions we aren't very deep, and we wanted to make sure that all of our scrimmages were in a controlled format, and then we also had to, you know, liven it up because our guys still have to know what it's like to play at a game speed and tackle live and get tackled live and get cut and all those type of things. So I thought as a coaching staff that the coaches did a great job of balancing those two things of being controlled scrimmages and having live formats, and I think that's been an attribute to keeping guys healthy.
All the practices that I went to, I noticed just the fast pace of both the offensive and defensive reps. Is that something that you and your staff sat down beforehand and really wanted to emphasize? And then couple that with, I'm sure you're very pleased that there's not a lot of injuries to report, and especially going at that fast pace.
You know, our goals here are, you know, are simple goals, you know, and they're precise goals, and you know, our goal is to outwork, out-hit, and outplay our opponent. And you can talk it all you want, but you have to do it. And you know, in our practices, we have that high pace and that that high tempo, and try to get a lot of reps. So that way, in games, it's easy, and we're in shape and we're ready to go. When you look at our team, how over the summer we came back, our veterans, I thought came back in great shape, and that really helped in camp in regards to being able to play at that fast pace and get a lot of reps in practice.
Well, and the cupboard certainly isn't bare for Chadron State. The Eagles returned 16 starters from the squad. Last season, they went 6-5, finished third in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. The Eagles are also picked to finish third in the conference this season in a preseason coaches poll behind Colorado State University Pueblo and Colorado Mines. Coach, among those 16 returning starters, 9 are on offense, and the skill positions are pretty set.
Yeah, when you look at it, the offensive line is where we graduated the 3 seniors at, and you know, I would say as camp has progressed, we have definitely gotten better there in that area, and you know, as everybody knows that knows football, you know, the line is very important in that regards. When you look at our skills, I mean, with our quarterback position, I've discussed this enough times, but we have 2 terrific quarterbacks that probably, I think Chris was quoted yesterday saying that this is the most depth at quarterback we've ever had. And then we got Pat O'Boyle that's our third, and you know, he'd be a starter on a lot of teams also. So you're looking at our quarterback position, it's very solid, and those leadership there, and when you have guys like that, you know, that helps the offense keep clicking. At tailback, once again, we have a lot of depth at that position. Three guys returning that all have playing experience, and I think as the season goes, those 3 guys will complement each other very well. And then at wide receiver, you know, we've got our Chadron High graduates and Cody Rose and Travis Reeves, and both those 2 guys have had a good camp, and I know they're excited to get back on the field and add in. Then you got Nate Ross and Chapman Ham, and both those 2 guys are also just good football players, and I'm excited to see what we can do offensively.
And then, Coach, you're also the offensive line coach. You return Garrett Gilkey and Brandon Ratcliffe, two longtime starters. They've been in the trenches. Then you also have some talented newcomers. Sam Parker started 2 games last season at center. Jake McCrary started 3 games at right tackle. And then you're probably going to have a new starter at left guard, whether that be Michael Lorenzo or Tony Hartman. Just fitting those pieces together and finding that continuity on the offensive line, I know is something that you're striving to get.
Yeah, when you look at the offensive line, it's kind of like maybe like a basketball. You got 5 guys, and you want to get your best 5 on the field, and sometimes maybe one will have to play at a position that they're not used to playing, but you got the 5 best out there. I was very impressed with Daniel Sotelo. He moved over from defensive line, and to be real frank, we needed him, and he came over and has bought in, and he's a guy that's going to get some reps as the season progresses also.
And then defensively, Coach, of course, the Eagles return 2 great all-star caliber players on the defensive line, John Carlos Medina and Kiefer Burke, both guys who've started all 4 years that they've been here at Chadron State. The talented linebacker Kevin Lindholm, who's been on a bevy of preseason All-American teams, and then a deep secondary. I believe that there's probably 6 safeties that'll rotate in there, and then there's 3 or 4 cornerbacks who will be getting in time. So I know that Coach Craig Jerzel, the defensive backs coach, it will probably have some fun schemes to throw out there with all the depth that he has to play with.
Yeah, when you look on our defensive side of the ball, Coach Jersey and Coach Larson just done an outstanding job getting those guys ready. I would say that our defensive front, when we're clicking, we're going to be I think one of the best in the conference. We have an opportunity to be with both those 2 guys. They're both main factors, and then when you throw in Tao, who's had some reps in the past year, also he was a great addition to coming back. When this summer he told us he was coming back, that put a smile on all of our faces, helped with our depth there. And then Zach Zandstrom, he's had a great fall camp. Him and Jake McCurry have been battling one-on-ones every day, and I'm excited to see him on the field. And also Dylan Brennig, he's a kid that was transferred from Kearney last year. He walked on, and he came out and just had a terrific fall camp. I'm excited to see him get some reps. I think that he's a guy that'll definitely help provide some depth on that D line, and I'm excited for him. At linebacking core, Kevin. I'm sure Kevin's in this seat. Everybody's talked about Kevin, and he's a terrific football player. He's our team captain. I think we had 60 guys vote, and he got 58 of them, and one of them was probably him. He didn't vote for himself. So when you look at it, he's an outstanding leader on our team. And he's a leader by example. He runs from one sideline to the next very fast. And I know that he's looking forward to getting on the football field. And Shea Cook and Dylan Furrier and Kyle McCarthy, those 3 guys have been real solid. And I know that they're going to get better with each day with their game reps and those type of things. Also, we're going to have a freshman in that mix, Cortland Joshua. Is a kid that came and he's ready to play, and he's a kid that's very fast, and his name will be said a lot from this chair in the future. I feel real confident in that. And then our defensive back, just like you said, we've last year that was where all those injuries were, and what that ended up doing is that created a lot of guys with playing experience, and we run 2 deep there. We run the Bandits and the Thieves, and both those 2 packages are very exciting to watch, and they're very athletic in that position. And I have I've sat here earlier in the spring, and I think our skill on both sides of the balls are definitely our strengths.
And as always, Chadron State, especially about the last probably 8 years or so, has really taken great pride in its special teams, and that's certainly the case this season. Josh Borm is a fantastic punter, averaged I think nearly 40 yards a punt last year. Really a great weapon for Chadron State. And then Alex Ferdinand was 12 out of 14 field goals and did a nice job on PAT kicks as well. So really another strength for CSC to use. Yeah,
they are. And Shea Cook's going to be another name that's going to get said in that. He took over our long snapping duties. I know that there's been a guy that's been a guy that has that position's been held by the same guy for 4 years, and for Shea to come in, that was just terrific to have him do our long snapping. And then both, like you said, Alex and Josh have had a great fall and great spring, and they're ready to get on the field also.
Coach, well, looking at Montana State last season, the Bobcats went 10-3, ranked number 7th at the end of the season. They're of course a Division I FCS opponent, and they're picked to win the Big Sky this season. So certainly a talented opponent, and it just so happens they're the first game of the season. So I'm sure you're looking forward to that.
We are. We are guys. Some of the parents have been calling for tickets down in Montana, and they're sold out. And that means there's going to be 17,000 fans there. It's the first night game of school history, and it's going to be an awesome atmosphere. And it's going to be awesome for our guys to play in that atmosphere. And Montana State's coming off of one of their best seasons they've had in a few years, and I know they're excited about their upcoming. When you look at it, one of Chadron State's traits, I've been there as a player twice, played there twice, and we've always had that attitude that we don't care who we play. And I was at John Ritson's wedding on Saturday, and there was a bunch of former Eagles there, and every one of them said that exact same word to me. We don't care who we play; we should go out and play them, and we have that attitude that we expect to win. And going up against Montana State, when you look at one side where they have all the accolades you just wrapped off, it looks like a great challenge, and our guys are ready for that challenge, and we're going to go out there and fight every play.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you at Montana State. Of course, kickoff is Thursday at 7:05. That game will be broadcast by Double Q Country here in Chadron. Best of luck to you, Coach.
Hey, thank you.